Hi, everybody. It's Ken Varga. Listen, I'll tell you something. I am really excited. At 78 years old, this technology is just mind boggling to me and what have you, how I could really communicate with you and share with you some money making ideas. But there's a few things I want to go over with you. Hold the questions off till the end, where we'll answer all your questions. You can either write them down in the question part or raise your hand. But you want to have a pad and pen handy for taking notes. And also, I just want to mention to you that uh, at the end, within a week or so, you're going to get a copy of a link for you watching this webinar in your leisure. So it's important that you do take notes, but also when you're watching in your leisure, you could always pause the frame and then take whatever message is there. But it'll be worth your while to stay till the end because I've asked John Davern to also get on to go over virtual assistant, his program. And it's a program I've been using to do all of the things that I'm going to be showing you how to do. But anyway, what I'm going to do is go over to generate sales for your network marketing business using LinkedIn. Again, it's always communicating and being in front of individuals so that at the time they're ready for you, then you'll be in front of them and then they'll communicate with you. But this is the whole point I'm going to go over with you in this webinar is that I'm going to show you the ideas, plus I'm going to show you how to communicate with them after so that you could make sales. All right, so the topic of this webinar is how to generate leads for your network marketing business using LinkedIn. Here's a little background on John Davern, who's going to speak a little bit later, and a little background on myself. You could pause this frame when you get the link and just read it. But you want to use LinkedIn as a lead generating machine. And over the past year, I've seen several new features in LinkedIn evolving in exciting ways, but also confusing ways. You know, these updates are designed to help people find a job, attract business clients and customers, or build personal brand or just network. Today, I'm gonna show you how to increase your connections using a new LinkedIn design for prospecting. Specifically, I'll cover three key techniques that you can use in LinkedIn to generate sales leads for your business. These techniques can help you consistently generate up to 10 to 25 or more prospects per month by turning your connections into prospects to whom you can sell your product or services. Whoop, went one too many. But these are the LinkedIn tasks. The first one is sending your connection request. Now, there's three ways that I'm going to show you how to do the connection request on LinkedIn. The city method, where you just type in the city and the state, or the advanced search method, which is a keyword method, and the first letter method using LinkedIn rules like AA, where you go into your groups, AB, etc. It'll pull up everybody with those names. So we're going to do the city method first. All right. So go to your homepage search bar, type in Sacramento, California, and click the search icon or whatever city you're going to be using. Where you want to always do the cities that are around you, because this way people that are local are more easier to talk to. So you click the search icon after you type the city in. Now you want to click on people, then connections. Then you want to click on the second button and then apply. All right, now don't forget you got three levels on LinkedIn, first, second, and third. The second and third, you don't have their data. So these are the groups that you want to get their information on so that you can communicate with them. But you click on second, apply, and then each page will display 10 names. You want to start with the first name, click connect, and scroll all the way down to the last name. After clicking connect, add a note to send them a customized message before sending the request. So you click on add a note, and now this is my connection request, and you're welcome to copy any of my messages that you want. But my message simply says, I'd like to add you to my professional network. Please take a look at my profile and you'll see that I can be an asset to you as a connection. Also, if you need referrals, please let me know. Then you click on send invitation. You want to do 30 requests per day, and you continue until you reach page 100. So you might end on page 3. So you always want to make a note where you left off. And then so that tomorrow you go into Sacramento, you go into people, you go into connections, you click on second, you click on apply, you scroll down to the bottom, you click on page 3, and you continue where you left off. And you just continue doing this till you do 100 pages. Then you continue, you start all over again. Where it says people, click on third level and apply, and it'll bring up all the people on the third level that you have within that city. Again, building your connections could also be done by first name method. Now I've put together a common name list. If you'd like a copy of the common name list, email me at kenpbg@aol.com. That's kenpbg@aol.com. Now, to see other ways to send connection requests, you can visit our webinar replay videos at buildyourdownlinefast.com/webinar-replays. But there's key LinkedIn tasks: building your contacts database and sending the follow-up messages. So once an individual accepts your connection request, your task is going to be building your database and sending the follow-up message and collecting their contact info. You want to view and add connection request acceptances to your database. Once people have accepted your connection, this is what you want to do. So now to locate those who have accepted your connection request, go to the home page and go to My Network on the top. I've circled it. This is where every day morning you're going to go and you'll see the ones who have accepted your invitation to connect. So you click on See All and you select Sort by Recently Added using your drop-down arrow, and right-click on the connections profile and picture of the one that just connected with you, and open in a new tab. You see, then click on See Contact Info. You see on the bottom right, this is where you're going to get their email and phone number. So you list down their contact that you want to in your database, type in their email, phone number, phone address, website, whatever you'd like to put in there. Sometimes individuals don't give you their phone number, like in this example, but the way you could get it is by clicking on their employer, and you'll be able to get it there. So here you type in the information into your database. Now you want to customize a thank you message for connection request acceptance. All right, so this is you're going to click on message, and then you're going to click on new message. All right. And then this is my thank you message. If you'd like to copy it, you can. Or I would suggest that what you do is just massage this thank you message to fit your personality. I think that would be much better. After typing in a thank you message, you want to hit enter to send it. Now what you want to do is to also write down their name and phone number on a separate sheet of paper so that you can give them a phone call, which I'm going to give you a script in a few minutes. But key LinkedIn tasks: getting leads using endorsements, birthdays, and congratulation messages. Next, I'm going to show you 3 techniques that my students tell me gets them an average of 20 new prospects per month. Getting leads: how to endorse your connections and send follow-up messages to those who endorse you. So go to your home page, click on My Network, now click on Connections. Under Sort By, select Recently Added. This is typically already selected by default. Then click on a connection's name to bring up their profile. Then your new connections profile will appear. You will need to scroll down to get to their skills and endorsement section. Click the plus sign on one or more skills to endorse them. I would just do one. The plus sign will change to a check mark indicating you have endorsed them. Again, the reason for this is you want to get them to respond back to you. You then want to repeat this prospect with the rest of your recently added connections. Click on My Network at top to return to your network, and then sort by recently added. Select the next connection and repeat the previous process to endorse the latest connections on your list. The connections you endorse will then receive a notification from LinkedIn that they've been endorsed by you. Notification indicator will have the number of new notifications. They will be able to see the notification by clicking the notification icon. A certain number of connections you'll endorse will thank you and send you a thank you message for the endorsement. And you want to say thanks, which will send you a thank you message. This opens the door again for additional communication to build the relationship and for prospecting. In your top level menu, you'll see a notification of a new message on your messaging icon. Click on the messaging icon to see the person's thank you message in response to your endorsement. Click on their message, then type a message in response to their thanking you for endorsement, and then click send. Here's the message you'll type. So just copy mine if you want, so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So just copy the messages that you want to Word documents, so that all you have to do is to copy them and paste them when you're doing this function. Endorsements can be seen on a profile page by scrolling down to the featured skills and endorsement. You click on any of the skills to see who has endorsed you for that skill. You can also add a new skill to give others additional skills for which they can endorse you. By default, endorsements are visible, but you can slide the button from to left to make the endorsement from a particular person not visible. Now, getting leads, sending a birthday message. This is all the next technique, and it's important. How do you find out which of your connections is having a birthday? You click on the word notifications on the top of your bar, and this will show you notifications of anyone in your network who has started a new position, is having a work anniversary milestone, is having a birthday, or if they liked one of your postings or commented on your group conversations, etc. In this case, we want to message those with upcoming birthdays. If multiple connections are having a birthday on the same day, click see who's celebrating for individuals, and you click on happy birthday and you wish them a happy birthday. You click on it, and now you want to click paste your happy birthday message, which is right here. This is my birthday message. You're welcome to pause this frame right now and copy it to a Word document. After you click happy birthday, that's when you start to build a relationship with them. Most of the time, you'll get a message from them telling you who their ideal referral would be. You now send them a message telling them when you see someone like that, you will refer them to you. Or go to their profile and click on see contact info to see their contact info and give them a call. So you copy down their name and phone number. Again, when you're calling them personally, what you want to do is to not leave a message on a machine. You want to, if a machine comes up, you want to just hang up and wait do it again until they answer, because the script is you want to say when they answer, thank you for letting me know who your ideal referral is. Why don't we get together for a cup of coffee and I can find out who else would be an ideal referral to you. This is before you make the birthday call. And you'll repeat this process for other birthdays. You might get 3 or 4 within every day. Depends on how large your first level is. But getting leads, sending a congratulation message. All right, again, click on notifications. Now it tells you, scroll down to see anybody that says say congrats, and then click on it. So right click the connections profile, and then following up on the upcoming slide on existing browser window, say congrats. Okay, this is my congratulation message, very similar to the birthday one. You're welcome to pause the screen and just copy it. As previously indicated, before sending the congrats message, you also opened up a second browser with the contact's profile. Now you want to click on contact info so you can get their phone number, email, and name. And again, if the phone number is not listed, you want to click on their website and you might be able to get their phone number there, or you could go through the phone list on Google, the address of their employer, and get that phone number from there. You would do the same process for those receiving your endorsements, birthday, and congratulation messages. Here's the script for the birthday, congratulation, and connection message. Hi, this is Ken from LinkedIn. I just sent you off a birthday message on LinkedIn, but I realize how impersonal messages are. So I wanted to personally pick up the phone and thank you by phone. Thank you. How's your day going? You having a great birthday? Or congratulations, etc. Script for connection. It's the same type of a script. I wanted to personally thank you by phone because I realize how impersonal messages are. Now you get an opportunity to start a conversation with them and start talking to them. And then when he asks you what you do, you could either give your elevator pitch on your product or the opportunity for them to earn extra money. But also now I want to go over on those topics about hiring a virtual assistant, because most of these tasks can be done by a virtual assistant or by yourself. It all depends on what you want to do and how much time you have. But here's some important tips. You're better off making sales than doing the techniques I've just mentioned. You want to hire a virtual assistant to send LinkedIn connection messages, send thank you messages, send LinkedIn endorsements, birthdays, congrats, set up appointments for you. Benefits of using LinkedIn: it's an inexpensive way of building your pipeline. According to my subscribers, they're getting up to 44% response rate just on the connection messages. For example, if you send out 100 messages per month, you'll get up to 44 prospects to present your product and service to and to talk to. I'm using virtual talent for many years now. I found them to be very useful. In fact, every month I do a analysis on what my return on investment is. And last month, I just want to tell you, my return on investment was 327%, which is phenomenal for the amount of money, the small amount of money that I'm paying. But the VAs can help you grow your network by helping create and optimize your profile searchability, sending your connection messages, searching for and joining LinkedIn groups, posting interesting articles to your groups, setting appointments for you, managing your calendar, creating and sending out your newsletters, managing your contacts and email marketing, updating your website contact blog, managing your social media, increasing your website traffic. Now, this is important. But VAs create prospects for you to present your product and services to, which is important. But before I go on, I'm going to ask John to come on so that he can go over with you. And I've asked John to personally make you an offer that you can't refuse. John?
Great, thank you, Ken. It's great to be on the call with you and everybody else. Ken and I have been working together. Ken's been using our VA services for at least I'd say about five plus years now. And I've also in the past been part of Ken's coaching program as well. And this particular technique that Ken went over with you today, it's a technique that he had been using, has been using a virtual assistant to do for many years now, and it's something also that I picked up from Ken, and I as well started using this technique, and it's consistently delivered on my overall LinkedIn strategy. What I'm going to go over is a high-level overview of your LinkedIn strategy that you can implement. So it's kind of taking all the tactical aspects that Ken went over and visually putting it into a high-level strategy that you can incorporate. And then I'm going to go over some additional tasks that you can do right away and implement in your business to help generate leads. And then show you a methodology to kind of look at based on these different marketing techniques and different tasks that you have to do associated with your business, what type of tasks that you can delegate or have a virtual assistant do for you. And it's all about kind of freeing up your time to help create a better work-life balance for you. Just a little bit about my company, my background. My background is in corporate human resources, worked in corporate HR for over 20 years, and I was working in retail HR at a home improvement retailer, and right at that time there was a big real estate boom, and so I wanted to get in on that and be an entrepreneur and make extra money in real estate. But working 50, 60 hours a week, it was really difficult, and I launched my own real estate business, and I was getting very little sleep at that time, sometimes only 2 to 4 hours in worst case scenarios. And during that time frame, I found out about hiring a virtual assistant and how a virtual assistant could help. And so one of the first, if you don't know what a virtual assistant is, a virtual assistant is a home-based or remote worker. They work from home. And my first virtual assistant that I hired was from Philippines, which is a good place to hire virtual assistants from, because they are fluent in English. Many cases they're college degreed, highly educated. And I hired a VA to do some repetitive tasks like posting online that I'm interested in buying properties. And by doing that, I was able to get my first couple real estate deals with the help of a virtual assistant. And from that, people saw that I was getting real estate deals, and they asked me for help in hiring virtual assistants. So that kind of evolved into business virtualassistanttalent.com. Another thing also too is I was also involved in network marketing as well. And I used a virtual assistant to help me with repetitive postings of Craigslist ads, advertising our business opportunity presentation, which was every Saturday. And so the VA would repetitively advertise. I also had the virtual assistant post in business opportunity boards and forums and recruitment sites that I was recruiting and looking for people to join my team. And I was able to build a at that particular time, most of people were local, but I was actually able to recruit people from out of state and different areas to join my team or downline. So that was one of my first exposures to virtual assistants. And now basically what my company does is we work with business owners, entrepreneurs, and basically find out from you what are the different things in your business that you should be doing that you don't have the time to do, and then what are some of the things that you're currently doing that is really just busy work and you don't want to do that, and then other things that you just may not have the expertise to do. Maybe it's certain things on digital marketing or web design, and we we'll do a free consultation with you, find out what your business needs are, what your budget is, and then just kind of like a staffing agency or executive search firm, we then find that particular VA, and the turnaround time's a matter of just 2 or 3 days. So you get to interview the person if you want, and then you just prepay for a certain number of hours that you need them, and you can cancel at any time, and we handhold you through that whole process. So that's kind of what virtualassistanttalent.com does. So I'll go over a little bit more of that later on, but let me go through the LinkedIn strategy and the overall kind of big picture. So in terms of LinkedIn strategy, when you create your LinkedIn profile, you want to kind of think of it in terms of Google and Google search engine. When people go on LinkedIn and they're searching for people to connect to, or maybe they're searching for business opportunities, or they're looking for a job, you want to make sure that you have a robust profile that clearly articulates what you do, what your experience is, what type of opportunity or products or services that you're offering, so that when people do a search, your profile comes up on their search. And so that's kind of one of the prerequisites, is making sure that you have a good LinkedIn profile. And when you're searching for people to connect to, you want to search for people who are going to be good referral partners. They're going to refer people to the products and services that you sell. They're going to refer people that maybe want to participate in your business opportunity or your network marketing opportunity. You want to connect with key influencers, which these key influencers would have followers or connections that are prospects to either become your customers or part of your network marketing business. And then third category is directly, people who are looking for a business opportunity, who would be either, potential customers or part of your team. So you connect with those people, and you're going to be sending outbound messages to those people. And also, people will search for your profile. They'll see that you offer a particular opportunity, and you'll be getting inbound requests too. So for outbound, when people accept your connection, you're going to send them a thank you message, but it's not going to just be a standard connection message like, hey, thanks for connecting. There's going to be some key criteria that you want to make sure that you add to it. Similarly, when somebody connects with you, you don't want to just do a short, simple message to them. You want to make sure your messaging has 4 particular key components. And these 4 key components will make the difference between whether you're going to be able to convert those connections to customers or convert those connections to part of your network marketing business or your downline. So, and this is something that was key to me that I learned from Ken with him using our VA services and me being part of Ken's coaching program. Is it makes the difference if you have these components or not in your messaging. Because I was doing LinkedIn connections and doing pretty high volume LinkedIn marketing, but I was not getting the conversions, even though I had a lot of connections. My messaging was off, and so Ken worked with me on my messaging. And once he did that, it made the difference, and I started converting these connections on a regular basis. And again, this is something that stood the test of time. I mean, I've been successfully getting people who convert into customers over the last 5 years using this technique. So you want to make sure that your messaging, whether it's a thank you message or you're thanking them for accepting your connection, you want to make sure your messaging features your value proposition. And so you want to have verbiage or language in there of how your product or service can solve their problems or improve their situation, or how your business opportunity can help improve their lifestyle, achieving financial freedom, or achieving the ability to be their own, have their own business. You also want to offer ideas to help them. So you want to say, hey, what type of customers are you looking for in your business, and offer them ideas on how to grow their business or different types of tips. You also want to invite them to join your LinkedIn group. Now, you may not already have a LinkedIn group, but that's something that I would suggest that you do is whatever your locality is, that you take your city and then you name it something to the effect of business opportunity group, something that's going to attract people in the local network to participate and join in that group. And then in that group, you're going to post useful content. You're going to initiate thought-provoking discussions or challenges. You may put like hey, any challenges with Facebook marketing? Here's a tip or technique that I have in terms of attracting people to your business opportunity. Respond with solutions, and then gently insert your own value proposition. That's going to help you build your credibility and reputation. The other component is, and you'll notice this was in Ken's messaging, is you want to have a list build opt-in. So you can offer like a free ebook or a free consultation or some sort of discount to your products or services. You want to have that in there so that they click on that. And when they click on that, that's going to put them into your email marketing program. And then that way you can, they say, and this applies, whether you're trying to recruit people into your downline or you're trying to get people to buy your product or service, people need to see that message multiple times before they actually follow through on it. And if you put them into your email marketing program, they're going to get exposed to your content, your articles, your blogs. They'll see repetitive messaging on your value proposition. And so these are the key components that you want to make sure that you have when you're putting together your full LinkedIn marketing campaign. And then you'll get positive responses. And from those positive responses, then you can follow up with a LinkedIn message, you can send them an email, you can set up a phone call or appointment set. And this particular technique or strategy, this is something that you can outsource and have a virtual assistant do for you. Even on the follow-up, you can also have a virtual assistant do appointment setting, making phone calls for you as well. It depends, on how much you want to delegate to a virtual assistant. So this is the overall LinkedIn process flow, and I can't tell you how important it is, though, that messaging, what you have in that messaging will make or break your campaign. And that was a big value in having Ken actually take a look at my messaging when I was part of his coaching program. It made a huge difference for me. So as mentioned, you want to put your messaging in front of somebody more than once. And you probably heard this in other types of training and information that you'll hear about marketing. You need to have a system to follow up with your potential customers or prospects for your business opportunity. And so the contacts that you make in LinkedIn, or if you attend different events and you're getting people's business cards, the virtual assistant can help import those contact lists and connections into your email marketing service, and then have that as part of your database, so that you can put this repeated messaging of the opportunity in front of them. Here's some other things that you can do to improve your marketing, and that's putting out a newsletter. And so here's an example of Ken's newsletter. So the virtual assistant for Ken helped design the graphics behind this and the overall newsletter template. And of course, Ken provides the content and the blogs, but the VA helps to put it together and to consistently mail it out to his list. So that's an example of Ken's newsletter. On the other side is Executive Next Practices Institute, which is for like C-level executives and business coaches and business owners. The virtual assistant in this case also put together the email template and then adds the new content when the owner sends it to him, and then sends this list out. And it's announcing different types of, there's monthly meetings that ENP Institute puts on, so the VA announces those different types of events. So these are some examples of how you can get a virtual assistant to help you with that newsletter. And I went to a marketing conference virtually not long ago, and you might think, well, if I repetitively send out the newsletter, people are going to unsubscribe. And it actually can be the opposite effect. If you send too infrequently, you don't send frequently enough, they forget who you are. And then when you finally send them something, they're like, well, who is this person? And they unsubscribe. So you want to be sending something, once a week or once every couple weeks. Here's an example of, with this global pandemic, a lot of these live training sessions or even business opportunity presentations that you may have been doing, where you're inviting people into the office there and you're giving the presentation and meeting and networking, have really been affected by this COVID-19. And so things have had to move to remote. And one of the things that you can think about is having your business opportunity presentations, have them remote. Here's an example, again, from ENP Institute, Executive Next Practices. They had monthly meetings where they're inviting people. These aren't network marketing meetings, but they're business networking meetings, just generally speaking. And they were holding these monthly meetings, and what they do is they were in-person events. They've now converted those events to being virtual. And so here you can see what the VA did was they put together the newsletter announcing the event, and then set that event up on Eventbrite for registration. And you can either have it be a free event or you can have it be a paid event. And then in this case, it was a paid event, and the VA set up the shopping cart process. And then the event was held over Zoom. and had all those, couple hundred participants in that particular event. But something that you can think of, for your business opportunity presentations. You send out the newsletter to your list. You have your virtual event. They register for the event, and then you can hold it on Zoom. And it's actually really impressive how Zoom operates, and you can even break out into smaller groups if you need to. But definitely the technology is there to kind of migrate while we go through this challenging times. So another example of something you can have a virtual assistant do. This is something in particular. I just launched a business about a month ago for a website that's actually sells products and services. It sells do-it-yourself paintings, wall decors, clocks, and so forth. So it's called nicehomedecors.com. I had the virtual assistant design the website, research on Amazon.com of what products were hot items and things that are selling, and then put together the website, put together the products, the shopping cart, the newsletter, and launch that business, and is doing Facebook ads and campaigns. And we're regularly getting orders. Pretty much every single day we're getting a number of different orders. And this is something that I have virtual assistants do for me. So once you have your website in place, your content in place, you can have the VA regularly send out to your connections. And again, as I mentioned before, you want to have a system for good follow-up for your potential customers or people who may be interested in joining your business opportunity. It's something similar, that I did when I was involved in network marketing. We had the virtual assistant, again, posting about the business opportunities, posting on recruiting websites, and then even had the VA create a special website that we use to advertise our business opportunity and the benefits of it. So that really helped with recruiting people into the network marketing business. VA can also help to your site. Again, you want to put content out there that's going to be engaging to people, that gets them interested in the products and services that you're selling, or the opportunity that you have for them to start or participate in their own business. And this is, an example of on the back end, the virtual assistant helping on the technical side of posting blogs to Ken's website here. Web development projects. So virtual assistants can put together websites pretty quickly, in a week or a couple weeks time frame, depending on whether you have the content for it or not. And if you don't have the content, they can even come up with sales copywriting for you. So here's an example. So Ken's going to be talking to you about his training program, and Ken took his training program, and we helped on the technical side with putting together all of the training content that Ken had, and putting it into a training type website. And so that's something that, if you have different types, let's say you have a training program or training materials, and you want to set that up as a product, you can have a virtual assistant create the website for you, put all your different content on it, put all the videos on it, set up the shopping cart system for people to purchase it, and then set up the membership site so that they can get set up with a username and password after they purchase and have access to the site. Or, if you're selling, for example, ebooks or different things, the virtual assistant can set up that e-commerce or training website for you. So again, with Ken's training website, there was a lot of work involved in that. There was videos that Ken did that needed to be edited and having text put into those videos. Creating the draft scripts for videos is something you can also have a virtual assistant do. Again, setting up the e-commerce or shopping cart side of the site. So these type of projects involve quite a bit, but you can delegate it to more than one person, and you can even hire a project manager VA to kind of supervise the whole different activity, and that'll help you kind of launch your product or service or business opportunity a lot faster than if you were trying to do it on your own. So here's some other things that you can delegate to VA. As I mentioned before, when you're thinking about what can you actually delegate to VA, there's a whole lot of different things, and especially now with the uh, you know, the global pandemic with the COVID-19, more people are working from home than before, and the technologies and tools are out there, and the acceptance of having people work from home has increased a lot, and some companies are even permanently thinking of having people work from home. So uh, that being said, even aside from that, there's a lot of different things that you can delegate to a VA or virtual assistant. And you just think about what work needs to be done to grow my business, and do I have enough time to do that on my own, or don't I? There's so many different things. It could be website design, it could be business development, it could be marketing, lead generation, Facebook marketing, ad posting, uh, and then what type of work needs to be done to run your business. So it could be on the accounting side, the bookkeeping side, customer service, HR. So those are two questions that you can ask, and then ask, can it be done remotely? Well, in most cases, yes, it can be done remotely. If it can't, then you do it personally, you can hire an office worker, or you just don't do it. But if it can be remotely, and again, if it can be done remotely, there's a lot of good tools that are out there for that. So there's Zoom, there's GoToMeeting, there's Skype, there's document sharing like Google Docs, and a lot of different project management or collaboration tools. So all those things are in place, and there's even more and more things coming out because of the a global pandemic. So one roadblock you may come up with is, well, yeah, I'd like to delegate it to VA, but I don't have work instructions for this particular job or task. So if you don't have the work instructions, well, you can either continue to do it personally, you don't do it, or you can actually, create the work instructions and put that in place so that the VA can do it for you. Now, a lot of the different things, one of the good things about hiring a virtual assistant, or even working with my company, Virtual Assistant Talent, is if you have something specifically that you need the VA to do and you don't have the time to train the person, most tasks, we can try to find somebody who has the experience working in your industry or field or your type of business that already kind of knows, generally speaking, how to do that task. So if you need somebody to do Facebook ads, you don't need to do the Facebook ads. You just need to tell them, hey, here's what I need. Here's my my avatar, my niche, or people that I'm going after, and you hire somebody that already knows how to do the Facebook ads or knows how to do the LinkedIn marketing. So that can make it a lot easier for you, which is getting very specific for the tasks that you need them to do, especially if you don't have really the time to put together work instructions or have time to manage the virtual assistant. Specific to network marketing, as I mentioned early on, that I hired a virtual assistant to do repetitive ad posting, advertising the business opportunity presentation that we were doing every Saturday morning, and getting people to come out for that. Also posted it in business opportunity job boards, and did that repetitive posting. Had them design the website that we used that was advertised on those postings. So there's a lot of things you can have them do. You can have them do your social media postings. You can have them actually do the graphics and editing on your business opportunity presentation. You can have them create flyers, business cards, table displays that you might use in your meetings. You can have them create scripts for you. So some of these virtual assistants are trained in sales copywriting, and they can help create a script for your video. After you create your video, they can do the edits to the video. I already talked about recruiting postings, setting up appointments, managing your calendar, administrative, and then if you're selling products or services, you can actually have them phones and do your order processing. Here's tasks specific for our insurance industry, and insurance has regulations associated with it. So we have a caveat or disclaimer on here that if your business is regulated, you want to make sure that you check with your company to make sure that any of the tasks that you're having delegated to somebody, that it's all meeting compliance. Real estate, this is one of the first industries, that I used a virtual assistant for. So I had the virtual assistant do repetitive postings to help me get real estate deals. And then you can also use a VA to help advertise properties and so forth. So the LinkedIn tasks, which Ken had went over earlier, this is something that we have VAs that are trained to do, that they know how to do this task, and this is a good task that you can outsource to a VA because it can be time consuming, and it is a numbers game in terms of sending out connections and following up with people. But this is consistently delivering for me for many years, adding people to my list that I communicate with and converting those folks into customers. So it's again something that I think in terms of where you could spend your time is when you get the positive responses. That's when you can have a VA, for example, set up or schedule a call, and you can follow up and interact with that person and introduce your business opportunity to them. So the virtual assistant really can help empower you, and I can't tell you, how much time I spent when I was doing a corporate job and then trying to have my own business on the side, how much time I was spending on that. And when you're doing that can take up a lot of your time. It can really affect your work-life balance. If you're spending all your time in your business, it affects your spouse, your kids, who might be complaining, hey, you're not spending enough time with me. It can be very stressful. But these are different types of things that you can delegate to a virtual assistant, so all that burden doesn't fall on you. Really help you to achieve, freedom of time, freedom of place, meaning that you can work wherever you want, you can live wherever you want, and really having that financial freedom. So it really integrates well with the wanting to be an entrepreneur and having control of your time, and having that type of flexibility by having virtual assistants help you to achieve that. And you can see all kinds of different testimonials that I have at virtualassistanttalent.com/testimonials. So it's all about, I've gone through it myself, in terms of not having work-life balance. And, part of my goal and mission is to help empower other business entrepreneurs, network marketers to really be able to achieve their dream of growing their business, but not having to put all their own time into it, to take some of that burden off. So almost done here. I'm just going to very quickly go over, if you want to hire a virtual assistant, what type of VA services that we offer. So there's two different major categories of virtual assistants. One is virtual assistants who do non-technical tasks. So that might be an admin assistant, social media marketing, creating content for you, data entry, could be like repetitive posting or answering phones for you. That price point is starting at $9.95 an hour. For technical, so it's basically you're hiring somebody, they work for you on an hourly basis, and the price point is starting at $9.95 an hour for non-technical. And then for technical, the price point is $13.95 an hour for web design, maintenance, graphics, IT programming, or even like as a manager or project manager. And so if you look at these price points, for Philippines-based virtual assistants, these are college degreed, fluent in English, and experienced in their trade or their field. So most of these, if you kind of look at like minimum wage, and a lot of this, the $9.95 price point is lower than minimum wage in a lot of different states in the U.S. as an example, and a lot of the cities have higher minimum wage rates. Like New York City, it's like $15 an hour. LA is $14.25. Chicago's $14. San Francisco's $15.59 an hour, and you've got all these different states that are doing minimum wage hikes. So as a business owner, it can be very difficult, especially when you're starting out, even to just hire somebody at a minimum wage rate. And if you're hiring somebody at a minimum wage rate, they may not have that particular type of skill set. But if you hire, for example, a virtual assistant, you're not tied to geographic, and you can hire people that live in a much lower cost of living area at a price point that you can afford. So the way our program works is you just contact us for a free consultation. You go to the website, request a free phone consultation, or you call our phone number here. My ops manager answers the call, and if she'll go over with you basically what type of things that you need done in your business, what is your budget, how many hours a week that you might need that person, and then you will be set up with an interview within just a few days of a candidate that meets your specifications. And then if you like that person, you can hire that person, and you prepay a certain number of hours based on what you need. And it could be 10 hours a week, 15, 20, 40 hours a week, whatever you need. And then as that virtual assistant works those hours, it gets deducted from your prepaid balance. And working with us, we monitor the VA for time and attendance. We handhold you through that process. We take screenshots to make sure that that person is working, and you can have access to those screenshots if you need it. We're providing a network of VAs that have a proven track record. So it's really a managed VA service. So there's HR support, and we handle the payroll and everything. So all you do is you just prepay for a certain balance, a number of hours. You can cancel at any time. If you don't like the VA or how they're performing, you can get a replacement or cancel at any time. And so, you know, for the purposes of this webinar, if you sign up for the service, there's a promotion here to get $50 off. But all you need to do is you request a free phone consultation, and then if you do decide to proceed, you can use that promo to get $50 off the plan, as long as you're purchasing like a minimum 10-hour a week type plan. So that's the virtual assistant services. And as I mentioned, you know, we talked about, again, this LinkedIn technique and different techniques that you might be having the virtual assistant do. You know, key component of that is you want to make sure that they're doing something that is effective and doing effective techniques. And that was really, you know, for me, the benefit of working with Ken and participating in Ken's training program, because it really made the difference in terms of my LinkedIn marketing being successful or not successful. I'm going to turn it back over to Ken, and he's going to talk to you about his training program.
Thank you, John. I really appreciate what you did, and I would suggest strongly anybody on the seminar, on the webinar, to really take advantage of this opportunity. I'm going to be showing you my screen now, but the training program is designed to help you really get out of the doldrums of struggling, because with the training program, you don't have to struggle anymore. You don't have to work any harder. It'll make it so much easier for you. You know, and it's time to transform your life. I'll show you exactly the training program on how to double your income within the next 12 months. Anyway, the Build Your Downline Fast training program consists of 42 training modules. So, and they're quite extensive. You got PDF, ebook formats. You'll be able to print them up, and also every one of the training modules have an MP3 audio download with it that you could listen in the leisure of your car or at home. You're laying by the pool, you're laying on a beach, it doesn't really matter. But also, as a bonus, I've included 40 hours of pre-recorded coaching calls on key topics pertinent to building your network marketing business. Here's some of the stuff that's available in the modules. The greatest sales secrets of turning quotes into sales. Creating a business plan to guarantee your long-term success. The amazing system for getting referrals from customers. Everybody that has purchased the training program, that has implemented the referral program I just mentioned, has just had nothing but accolades, where they've added thousands and thousands of individuals into their downline. But you'll learn simple tricks with these one-on-one questions and answer sessions that I've done within the coaching program, and you could just pause the program right now as you're listening to this and just look at what the coaching program has done. But here's a sneak peek inside the training platform. All right, you just go on the training platform, and there's 13 sections with each having a general theme and multiple modes with each section. So you click on the first one, and it's 42 training modules, PDF format available. You click on that, you download the audio recording, and you go all the way. If you go to section 13 tab in the coaching calls tab, click on it, and you'll be able to download all those coaching recorded calls. But anyway, here's what a few individuals have said about me, and you could look at. Everybody's heard of Brian Tracy. And if you could just pause the thing and just read it, it'll give you an example of the accolades people have said about me. And here's Mark Victor Hansen, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Again, pause it and read it. Dan Kennedy, one of the dear friend of mine who's an astute entrepreneur. Pause it and read it. But your investment in a program is only $497, and you get full access to the 42 training modules, over 3,000 pages, 40 hours of coaching calls, the audio recordings with me, and start learning today on how to do it. But here's my guarantee. I personally guarantee that if after 1 year from purchase date of implementing my strategies in this training program, you don't get at least one new client or customer, I'll return your full investment. All you have to do is show me that you've implemented the strategies in each module. Now, there's also bonuses that you're going to get from it. You have a personal coaching call, which is worth $5,000 with me after you've made the investment. And also a bonus too is a program with John Davern, and this shows you what it is all about. So sign up now. Here's the link, buildyourdownlinefast.com for network marketers. One of the things that a lot of the individuals have mentioned to me that at the moment, because of the COVID thing and the problems, that the 497 investment on their part was a little bit steep right now, and they have to wait till later. So what they asked me to do was to get a couple of the modules and start offering them as individual standalones. So if you go to the buildyourdownlinefast.com, go to the top tab, and then click on all ebooks, you'll see the first two modules that I've done individually in ebook format. So I'm making it affordable to everybody that could do that. So again, go to buildyourdownlinefast.com, click on the top tab, click on all ebooks, and you'll see the two modules that we have so far as an individual standalone program. All right, now here's some alternatives, links that you could go to. Anyway, we're going to do some questions and answers right now, John. One, Alan Stockbridge asked the question, is this going to be recorded? And the answer is yes. Everybody within about a week or so will receive a link to watch it in their leisure. But the reason I'm bringing his question up is because he said he had to get off the program at the moment. But John, why don't you continue with Ronald's question?
Sure. Okay. Let me. There's a couple ways you can ask questions. One is through the. There's a little question area that you can type your question, or if you want to raise your hand, we can unmute you if you want to actually verbally ask the question over the call. So let me check here on the questions. Okay. So I did see, yeah, there was Alan's question. Another person's asking, will this be recorded? Yeah, so as Ken mentioned, the call is going to be recorded. We'll send that out. Let me bring up the other ones here. Okay. Let's maximize this here. Okay, so Ronald, let's see here. Okay, so Ronald is asking, we're living in the world of scammers and catfishers. Why would people respond to a VA from the Philippines? So if you're using, and I guess it depends on how you're using the virtual assistant. So obviously, if it's on the back end, if you're having them do your your LinkedIn marketing, or you're having them do your Facebook ads or marketing, they're not going to people aren't going to know who is the person behind that back end process that you're doing. If you are having the person reach out or calling people on the phone, you can screen the person to make sure that they sound almost like a U.S. native, or even some cases like a U.S. native. So it's up to you who you pick, but you want to pick somebody if there's anything that you're having them do on the phone that they do sound and have really good communication skills. So as an example, we had a client in Southern California. They were doing like beach-related rentals, and people would call in and they'd rent the beach rentals, and the virtual assistant in the Philippines was answering the phone. The people have no idea that the virtual assistant is actually in the Philippines. He doesn't disclose it. He doesn't say that. He just answers it as if he's a local business, and because he's got good communication skills, they don't know where the person is from. So it really depends on the communication skills that the person has, but they're not outwardly saying or disclosing that they're overseas or from the Philippines. So hope that answers your question on that. Let's see, another person, great information. Look forward to receiving the recorded webinar. So let me check again under the attendee list to see if there's any other questions. So let's see here. Right. No, okay. Looks like there's no further questions. So looks like that's it, Ken.
Okay, I appreciate everybody being on this webinar. And like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm only an email away. So I look forward to talking to you in the future. Everybody, please keep healthy with this COVID stuff, and the future is ours. Take care, everybody.